And get my reference on screen from moi. All right. So I'm going to do the boring part real quick. I am going to do the grid. I could try to freehand it, but when it comes to such sharp lines like they did for like it is for these type of images, I don't want to do that. So I got my woodless pencils, but I'm going to use my blue pencils for the lid, for the grid. DW, yeah, he's recovering. He's doing very well. From the last time I spoke to him, like I said, he's an amazing person, and it's quite a scare for everyone. Obviously, things happen. We got to take care of each other and ourselves, but we just have to be ready, take care of ourselves as best as we could, and us survivors, witnesses, have to be ready as well. But it was good to hear him. Good to hear him in good spirits and recovering. So that's all that matters. And for him to greet me that way, one, to break the ice, I'm sure, right? Because I'm positive I wasn't the only person trying to get a hold of him. You know? So, but yeah. So that's what we gonna do. And was actually, I'm trying to build on some of the metallic effect that I was putting down on the Doom portrait that I was working on Monday. I want to see if I can expand that to something a bit bigger, like this Megatron piece. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second here. This ruler that I'm using, this T-square, is very odd. Because sometimes this diameter of the ruler is an inch. Right? So sometimes it helps me if I just bang it out real quick and sometimes it'll work. Other times I'll do that hastily, I trust it. And the measurement is completely bonkers. The lines are completely off and crooked. It could just be me. I'm sure it's me. And I'll show the Doom piece momentarily. I didn't touch it since that last session on Monday. I'm basically done. There's 2 or 3 things that I have to work on to make it absolutely done, besides adding the signature. Some details that I want to reinforce and stuff like that. But I was looking at it and I was really enjoying the way some of the metal stuff was coming out. Sometimes you just gotta let that sit, let it sit, let the positiveness of what you're doing sit for a bit. And you shouldn't be ashamed to admire your work sometimes, guys and gals. You really shouldn't. If you do something, you spend some time on it and it looks good, take it in. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's not about being vain or feeding your ego, but there's certain things that you have to do as an artist to keep moving forward, right? We don't want disappointments, even though sometimes disappointments are the things that drive us to learn and practice and do more. But it's good to be surprised sometime, I think, to go, wow, it almost looks, I say it all the time too, derogatorily. That's a new word, derogatorily. Sometimes it looks like I know what I'm doing. Sometimes it looks like I can't hold the crayon in the right position. One thing I'll be honest with you guys about, I've never been more consistent in terms of sequential days painting, back to back. Or drawing or doing something. Alright, here we go. And that absolutely helps. Maintain a small routine without being burnt out. Getting burnt out really does help. A few minutes a day. I take those times and I do these streams with you guys. And if you can think about it, I'm doing almost 12 hours of live drawing a week. 2 hours at a time. 4 hours sometimes in a day. That's more more practice than I've ever done. Evers. And not just on one thing, and I wonder if that's also causing a bit of a something. JOM, how are you? Is there any way I should be saying that? Is it Jomfish? Because it's F5W5H. Is there a way? Is it code? And I'm lazy, so I'd rather say JOM. The way drawing while talking, I just started calling them DW. That's it, JOM, I'll take it. Or Jumpfish. Also, doing stuff like this, grids, lines, and just graphs, there's a level of catharsis involved in it. For me, there's a level of structure, even though a lot of the stuff that I do is spontaneous, the figures and stuff like that, but sometimes when you plan out, see, I don't know if I did that right. You know what? I'm gonna risk it. Close enough, I think. I told you guys, I think, on in my photo editing software, I have a grid like this in light blue superimposed on my sheets. So I can print them out on my 11x17s. I'm going to start doing panels. I'm going to start practicing a bit more on the sequential artwork, on storytelling, and I'm going to be using these grids to do perspectives and drawing the perspectives, changing camera angles. Oh, I'm going to have to, look how bright it is up there. Close my curtains for you. These little things can account as practice. You're practicing straight lines, you're practicing straight edges. We're talking about consistency a bit. I think that's the thing that younger artists kind of struggle with. Maybe not just younger, almost all artists kind of struggle with that. The idea of practicing or doing something every day tends to make it boring. You have to find ways to excite your mind. Alright, I don't really care. It's super not accurate. Yes, I used to love watching Beast Wars, the original. The artwork was very crude at the time, the CGI, but it was amazing. My favorite character was Dinobot, the Velociraptor. He kind of reminded me of Starscream. Ow. Even though Waspinator, I think, took that title. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna close my shade behind me. Alright, I think that's better. Alright, so that's for that. I'm going to start using my HB LED here. So, messing out. I don't know if it holds up. The stories, I think the stories hold up more. So I think that romanticism of the stories make us appreciate the animation and how crude it was. I think the guy that did the voice for Optimus was great. As much of a fan I am of Peter Cullen. Who isn't a fan of Peter Cullen? What was I saying? So this thumbnail that I'm using, this screenshot, is in widescreen. This panel isn't quite, and I wanted to get as much of him on screen, so I had to enlarge this so he can fit. But by doing that, his head cuts off. So I'm gonna have to use a bit of my imagination, but his head is pretty iconic. We know what it looks like. Excuse me. But I think this is gonna be fairly straightforward. So here we go. I don't think I have to do the lines for this. That's that. I'm just grabbing some French curves. There's not that many curves, but the ones that are there, I would just want to make them look good as best as I can. But I liked Beast Wars. I followed all the way until Beast Machines, when they got to Cybertron, and then I kind of lost interest there. Alright, so he's damaged, so I don't have to. I could play a little bit here. I'm gonna try to get as much as the simple lines out of the way. Stars Dragon says, hello again. Good morning, Stars Dragon. How are you? I'm gonna try to freehand as much. I don't want to use my ruler, but I might have to. I'm doing well, Stars Dragon. Thank you for asking. And DW, yeah, I didn't finish Beast Machines either. It did get a little bit metaphysical when they were back in Cybertron. All right, so. All right, I have to use my ruler here because I lied. Yeah, that feels like a lot. That's the one thing about using the grid system that is really weird. When you start looking at it in that mechanical, in that technical sense, things are longer than what they appear in your eye. And then you pull out the measurements and you go, what the hell? Oh, it is? Really? Ew, my goodness. Who knew? All right, 9 right here. I guess I am going to have to use the ruler. Yeah, I always find it so difficult drawing Transformers, drawing robots, drawing machines, and I love them so. Voltron, Tranzor Z, even the more current 2000s with the Big O, the Mega Deuce. That doogie's cool. Cool looking. Gigantor, Giant Robo. I don't think I have a copy of. I may have a saved version of Optimus Prime that I did. I don't want to show it to end up traumatizing my boy Saboteur there. This is one thing that I never wanted my drawings to be, like this mechanical, almost like drafting. See, that doesn't look right. I think I'm looking at a bunch of different things. All right, let me just slow down a bit. I was hoping. That's what I get. I was hoping for a smoother. That's that one there. A smoother going here, but I guess not. You mean mechanical? When drawing a robot needs to be kind of mechanical? Yeah. But it kind of... Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. I would rather do like the silhouette, you know, and then play in that silhouette. But I have a oh, what the heck, Mel? Grimlock piece in my mind that I can't wait to do, and I'm just gonna use a bunch of references, a bunch of T-Rex references. All right. But I don't think this is going to be all that difficult. I think I'm making it more difficult than I have to just because I want to make it good for my bud, man. I gotta... The pressure is only on me. I gotta start doing more perspective drawings as well. I am surprised though. I am surprised by the amount of artists that use the grid method, professional artists, when doing portraitures and things like that, and just everything, landscapes. And it's kind of also surprising seeing recently the amount of just misunderstanding that people are like criticizing. Are people criticizing the fact that artists are using the grid system or references, period? The amount of trolling that happens in the art community is really something else. It's it really is. The support in some of these places are non-existent. Alright, this is where the head cuts off, about right there. Hey Arfley, how are you? Been around but busy. Appreciate you. I'm gonna tell you guys this straight up. You guys never have to apologize to me for missing a stream or not communicating. If you are watching and hanging, I appreciate you. I know life pulls us in different directions. I'm humbled that you guys go, I'm sorry I missed it, but you never have to apologize to me. I appreciate when you guys are here, and that means more to me than anything. Cool? Just know how much I appreciate you guys. All right. Crown. Boom. Bam. 2 tree. Kind of follows that. Something like that. DW says, hold on 1 second. JOM says, David Finch draws the axis lines to ground the feet. Yeah. He did a great video on perspective and in rooms and buildings, a street scene and a room scene. And I try to make sense of it. I gotta slow it down a bit for my understanding, but he's a pretty good teacher for as fast as he draws. Said that weird. And then DW says a lot of a misunderstanding with beginners and who want to learn drawing from imagination. They think they can't use reference. Yes, and I think what happens is that young artists will end up somehow finding the page like of Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-is? Yes, Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-is. May he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. And see how he does his work with no reference. Just freehanded, marker, pen, whatever it is. And it becomes their mission to do it. What they don't see is the amount of practice. And that guy was he was a savant. That was not Maybelline. That bro was born with it. And we see all of these Comic-Con videos of these artists that do it right there. Freehand, boom, you want this but to see a comic book artist and be amazed at the fact that in a Comic-Con sketch cover or whatever, he will freehand something. Well, he's done it 1,000 times, 100 times more, you know. He's done the stuff that we don't want to. He's done it hundreds of times in different angles and different expressions. He's probably done that same piece, alone 100 times. And that's all right. I'm not even dogging on him. I think the thing that young artists struggle a lot with is where to start. I find the same struggles too. I'm looking at a lot of pen drawings, pen and ink and washes of landscape, of dark fantasy, Iberian Age, Conan style landscapes that I want to do because it'll suit me and my story. I don't know where to start. The only thing I can do right now is just study, watch, trace if I have to. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. When it comes to practicing, I don't care what you do to get better. Trace, swipe, transfer paper. I don't care. Let me see. DW says, thank you, Mello, though I'm going to miss you over the next week. I am at my sister's, being with you while you draw and talk with you. One of the best parts. Man, I appreciate that, D-dubs. Make sure your sister appreciates that when she gives you a hassle. You'll be like, I've abandoned, I've abandoned Mello for you. Who the hell is Mello? But I appreciate that. That's nice of you to say. Artfully says, Mello, for your graphic novel, will you be drawing and hold on, let me see if I read this right. Will it be your drawings and story? Yes. Pure fiction. But yes, it will be my story. And I'm very happy. I am done. I'm done writing it. I did the penultimate final outline and dialogue for the story. It is complete. Now the next thing for me is going to be just fleshing it out, tightening it up. I kind of went gangbusters, so I need to go back and make sure that the things that I wrote in the beginning are the I didn't lose track of those as I fleshed out the story. I had a very specific beginning, middle, and end. Extremely specific. I knew exactly where I wanted it to go, but certain characters kind of like developed. I found myself moving too quickly on certain areas and too slow on others, or not slow enough. Adding quieter scenes, adding louder scenes, and adding cutaways. There's 3 big battles. I'm not a writer in that sense. But I watch a lot of movies. I'm a student of movies. I'm a student of graphic novels and books and stuff like that. So I know what entertains me. I'm a nerd for documentaries. I'm a nerd for the stuff in the back end and learning how writers put things together and how they get their inspirations, that type of stuff. And I wanted to make sure that I maintain some of those proper writing habits. I made sure also, though, that I didn't hinder the story because I didn't know how to draw anything. Or a certain scene, or the inside of a temple, an inn, a bar, a room, a house, a log, a cabin, whatever it is that I put together. A horse. I got horses in here. Or a horse. A horse, right? If you can't draw 3 of them, just draw one of them. I don't have practice drawing horses. But one thing that I made sure to do to myself was don't restrict yourself. Don't restrict your story because you don't know how to draw it. Do it. Because it's easier to learn to draw a horse than it would be to live with me dumbing down something because I can't do it. And that's something that I don't want to teach my kids to do either. Go big, man. Go big. Fail big. But go big. So anyway, that. So that's one thing I did. I wrote emotionally. I wrote based on certain tropes and certain things that are personal to me. Certain things about addiction and betrayals, not so much in dramatic sense, but using certain experiences as we do as writers. So, all right, hold on 1 second. I gotta do this math real quick. That's that. And then about right here. So what I'm gonna be doing what I'm gonna try to do with you guys for the every Monday until my hands fall off, I'm going to be introducing and drawing a new character or scenes of my story as I tighten it and begin to start doing sequential art. I'm in no rush. It's what's really cool about what's happening with me is that it's alive, it's done, it's put on paper. Where it goes from there, we shall see. But it's done. That's one thing I've been. If I still drank, I would have celebrated with wine, that type of deal. It would have been one of those. It would have had a toast. But it was fun. It was fun to get it out. I'm happy the way it turned out. I hope it's good. So as what I'm going to be doing Thursday is I'm going to be finishing the end chapter, that chapter. And jokingly, I'm gonna leave it open for potential sequels, but I'm not thinking that much further, which is kind of funny for me to think that way. Single story, we good. Oh, thank you, D-Dubs. It was really fun, man. I kind of went nuts as soon as I had the idea, and I can't wait to start showing you guys certain characters and even revealing more of the characters in their original story, because the story did change as I started to write and talk to my family about it. They're basically my editors. You know, they would ask me, because even though I had the pieces together, I had let's say if it's from A to Z, I had A, M, and Z, and it was just following the alphabet to get there. And they'd be like, well, D and E don't work right. Ike, good morning. Way morning. Good Lord. Oh, no, it isn't. What is it? 1 in the afternoon? 12? Either way. How you doing, man? It's good to see you. Just drawing old Megatron there for my buddy. And then I'm going to paint it. Because I'm going to see if I can make this a bit more. This scene, I probably won't keep those colors, but that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not finished here. I like how I posted this. Somebody was like, well, you need to do something with the letters. And I'm like, you missed the part where I said I'm not finished. Maybe you guys can see it now. You see the blue under the eye there? It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be flesh tone, but that is the naked canvas underneath. That's the blue pencils, my original shading. So I gotta remove it. Really? 1515? I'm pausing because for whatever reason, my friend, my math ain't mathing, and I'm like, what? I'm seriously losing my mind here. Hold on, man. What the heck? Huh. So 3:15. Thank you, sir. Oh man. Wow. That was scary. So where was I? I think I'm good here. I don't know if I'd be able to add a much more black. Oh, you're on. Hey, man, that's what's up. You need it, man. He's celebrating the fall of Argentina on Sunday. Yeah, man. Enjoy the holiday. I might use some metallic Arteza, dark green metallic or something like that on this. This is metallic, and it really, you see how it doesn't really even add oomph. We'll see what happens. All right, let's keep going here. But good for you, man. We could all use a good holiday. I'm sorry in chat, I can't. Your name is written in I think that's Chinese. He said that's the best one, bro. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. No, don't need to. Mo better. Alright, so this is where his head's cut off. You think it was intended for Barco? You got it. Good morning, Barco, from my end of the world. I don't know what time it is on where you are, but good morning. The English is not good? That's okay. That is quite all right. We love to paint. Fantastic. Fantastic, man. So you on the story, it's called The Ghost of Arlan. For now, it once was called It Never Ends, but it's called the Ghost of Arlan. And the ghost is this ginormous creature, armored with very grotesque and dark armor. Is manifested through this stuff called brimstone. Brimstone is kind of like the magic ore or mineral of this world. In its original form is called benison or grace. It could be a medicine, a healing item, that type of stuff. But when corrupted, it becomes brimstone. And brimstone can be used as a medicine as well. It can be used to manipulate, to strengthen. It also, in its corrupted form, it makes you enjoy the things you hate the most about yourself. The things that make you a bad person. Barco, you were asking if this is Fist of the North Star? Oh, if the Doom? No, that was Dr. Doom. Who's like that? Jackie from Fist of the North Star? I'm glad you mentioned it. I haven't done a Fist of the North Star in a long time. So the Ghost of Arlan is this creature who basically resides underneath this village. This once beautiful village, which is now just ashen and dark and gray because all they do there is manufacture brimstone. So they don't control him or anything. He just happens to be there. They brought a man there, and it has corrupted him. So he's basically this huge monster creature. I would consider him almost a walking nuke, which is how there's peace in this land. Nobody fights because of him, not because he can't be controlled or anything like that. He's just a force attracted by fighting or disruption. So he's just a heavy presence. And we find out later who he is, and so on and so forth. See, I kind of like this version of being able to draw this way, even though I'm using the grid. He's so beat up that I can what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't have to be so sharp with my lines. Thank you, Barco. I appreciate you. I'll find a way to communicate better to you. Have a good evening. Thank you for the sub. So yeah, as I was saying, I think on Mondays or something like that, I'll do more of those. Those being character models, character design, sketches, that type of stuff. I kind of lost my way here off of the grid, but I'm okay with that because it's close enough that super close. So Ike, are you doing anything for your holiday? Is it a staycation? Are you staying home? I don't like this anymore. The one piece that I really want to draw is Starscream's coronation. It was a great high res. It's like whoever was in charge of that animation for that scene in the movie really loved him some Starscream because he looks cool, sharp. So that's what I want to do. Who disturbs my coronation? Doing some housework before you do some artwork. That's cool, man. Or is it? You gonna post a video sometime tonight? That's cool too, man. I always look forward to those. They, to me, feel more like studies when I watch them. It's studies for me. So there's certain things that I guess I made this piece of his helmet too big. his face might end up being smaller than I want it. Let's see if we can make it work. I have a video on deck that I have been just holding on to. I haven't been able to edit or narrate it. It's is there a reason why this thing stopped? What was I talking about? Video on the thing that I haven't been able to record or narrate yet too, but been wanting to. DW asks, it's a street scene where I can... Okay, so sorry guys. Ike says it's a street scene where I can sort of hide the perspective mistakes. Nah, man, it'll be there. You got this. And DW says, do you have a grid on your reference picture as well? On this one that you see on screen, no. But I have Photoshop open with the grid over it. So that's what I'm staring at. I have my monitor in front of me. So that's what I'm doing all the counting from. Did I answer your question? Yes. If I had a grid, yes. Kind of being weird because he has a smirk. I'm gonna try to capture that smirk, and I think it's a little higher. This is a scene where Megatron and Optimus have been putting the hands on each other. They've been whipping each other, beating each other from pillar to post for a bit here. And Megatron has gotten the upper hand because our favorite Hot Rod jumped in the way. When Megatron pleaded for mercy, but secretly was trying to grab a gun that was in front of him. Which is kind of interesting considering he has a cannon, but I'm sure something happened to that cannon. Anyway, he shoots Optimus. Fall! Shoots him. Optimus is on his his hands and knees. He's bleeding out. And Megatron, in this scene, he says, "I would have waited an eternity for this." I would have waited an eternity for this. It's over, Prime. The iconic never, never. I would love to redo the voices for those. And just make them just terrible. Because why not? I got your ass now, Megatron. Yeah, so you already know. Black, that's black. It'd be cool to spot the blacks in here eventually. Yeah, I think the way my image came out might be a little... face is a bit more narrow. What's up, Saboteur? Good morning to you, bud. More trauma for you, I'm sorry. I think that might be the only good thing about drawing on artboard on live streams. You guys get the added bonus of some ASMR on you. What? Hold on. I have not seen the movie though. My friend had me watch the first few episodes and I spent the movie saying things like, they redirected the river and saved the house, yet now waterfront property raising their taxes should let that. That is hilarious. You can't be watching that. You can't be watching them shows with adult logic, but that is hilarious. That's hilarious. I haven't seen the original G1 series in a while, and I actually have the DVD box set of the first season, or partial bits of the first season. They're so good though. I couldn't watch anything. So we was talking about the CGI stuff after Beast Machines. I couldn't watch anything else after all the other iterations of it, or the ones that are kind of like being driven off of the Michael Bay universe. I can't watch those. They're pretty bad. Animation is pretty bad. Even some of the continuations of the Japanese versions, where they kind of just turn into single animation cell, and then a Sailor Moon-esque. Yeah, I love Sailor Moon. Don't get me wrong. Sailor Moon-esque transformations, where they will jump up and their machine parts will combine. It's like that's not it, guys. But who am I? Who am I? It has to adapt to the attention level of its audience, right? His mouth is a lot thinner. A Ben Grimm? If I was a Transformer, what car would I be? What would be the equivalent of bad knees on a car? Like a car with bad door hinges. An old 1987 Celica with rear view mirrors are on the hood. I don't know. That's a good question. An electric car with bad struts? Yeah. Interesting. See, this is what's kind of throwing me off of this image. This bottom piece is lifted. Because it's supposed to be on his shoulder here. So it sticks up. So this is in the inside. Oh, you know what I need? Orange Lambo? Alright. Fancy. Fancy. It's right here somewhere. So why can't I see it? I feel like if I do that line here, it doesn't feel right. One, two, three. No way. I don't know why it doesn't feel right. I gotta trust it. It could also be bad eyes. Electric car best. It has to be a hybrid, right? Because is electric, having an electric car that much cheaper? I think the best car we've ever had here at Casa de Mel was a hybrid, and we had a Toyota. No, that's a lie. Ford C-Max hybrid. We drove that bad boy from Florida to Boston and back in a weekend. I don't think you're born into as a Decepticon. They're all just. It depends, I think, right? They're all just. It's a caste system. There's a. They had some episodes where they kind of like managed that, like Megatron and Optimus Prime were buds. Optimus used to be called Orion Pax. I forget what his name was. And they were just kind of like ants, man, like factory workers. It's been a while. I don't remember much after. They unionized, and then things kind of fell apart. Alright, I think I can, I don't have to be too strict here. Yeah, it was revealed that it was a choice early on too, because they basically took that idea from Jetfire. In the G1 series, Jetfire was a Decepticon who got tired of war. He ended up, like all of them, frozen in ice or whatever the heck on Earth. And when he was thawed out, he thought the war was over. He was like, he tried to leave. He was tired of it. So he became an Autobot. There are great stories about, even after the movie, even though the story got really heavy into, I mean, it was always about selling toys. There was one Autobot, when they turned into headmasters, that was just tired of war. He was done. And he almost refused to help anymore in that storyline. But they needed him. So it was a human inside of an exosuit that became the head of a full-size Autobot, who became the head of, I think it was Metroplex, or a bigger robot. It's a bit convoluted, but yeah, that was a thing. All right, that might be too high. All right, I'm gonna have to elaborate here. Or no, let me see. Maybe I could shrink it. Yeah, I almost made a mistake. We've had several muscle cars and will always be gas fan or carb fan. Heck yeah, man. I have a 2019 Mustang Bullet. So, and she only drinks champagne. She drinks that 93 octane. So we only go out on the weekends. Are Transformers AI? No, because they're not artificial. Well, what do you say? They're autonomous. Autonomous robotic organisms. So they are alive. They can die. But I think their ship had a computer called Teletran 1. I'm sure that was AI. We all loved AI when it was Alfred. Not Alfred. When it was Jarvis. Yes, thank you. I have the Shadow Black edition. I bought it during COVID. Found it. Drove several hundred miles to another state to get it. It's gonna be black. All right. I think we're looking good here. Ooh, kit. I will attempt to do these clouds. The Hellcat? Yeah. There's so many down here. There's so many muscle cars down here in Florida. The car culture down here is actually really cool. I don't know if I'm gonna do this background, but I have to try. Cracks and cracks, cracks and cracks. I think we're good there. I'm definitely glad I went with the smaller size. When I did the Optimus Prime one, I did it on one of my bigger artboard canvases, artboards. This is 12 by 16. I think the other one is 16 by 20. Something like that. 16 by 20. I am digging it though. All right. All right, let me just scooch some stuff here. I got so much crap on my computer. Alright. Scoochie scooch. Just make sure I can see everything. Alright. Transformers are so set on selling more toys, they try killing off Optimus so that they would have to choose no choice and buy new toys. Yeah, they had no idea of the backlash they were gonna get, were they? I'm so happy I didn't see that flick in the theaters. Oh yeah. Shockwave. Shockwave was dope too, man. The scientist that stayed on base the whole time with the one eye. All right. Yeah, man. I think we good here. See if I can add my own shading here. Yeah, I don't know who they thought. Who there thought it was going to be a good idea. But then again, characters like that in legit Japanese shows, they die all the time. All the time. Because the story is more important than the characters, I think. Over there. There's more emotional stakes. I was talking earlier about like Transor Z. I don't know if you guys remember Transor Z. Those movies, they're OVAs. People die left and right. It is violent. I had watched some years after the fact, and I'm like, oh man, let me see if I can get some nostalgia kicking in here. Boy, was I in shock. But it makes you sit at the end of your seat. You're like, okay, here we go. Enjoy your meeting, working man. Thanks for hanging out, Saboteur. I appreciate you all times, man. All times. I appreciate you. Yeah, OVAs are dope, man. They get to go a little nuts. It's kind of like they don't always end up being canon, but they're really good. When I was watching Transor Z in the States, the Great Mazinga in Japan, I was watching their OVAs and people started just dying left and right. Heroes being crushed inside their mech suits. It's crazy. Shoot, what I might end up doing, seeing how this is moving along a lot faster than I thought, which is a good thing. For the workshop later on today, I might end up just doing some of the painting. Yeah. But I'll probably have to do some spraying first. I'm definitely not oh, maybe I should use it. Damn it. I'm sorry, we're making these decisions. I was not very happy with the way the smooth gesso worked on the Doom painting, even though it adds a really cool layer. Oh, now I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should do it or not, because it adds a really cool layer of shine, but that bothers me sometimes. Sorry. Jane here, good morning. How you doing? The proverbial rubbing. Try not to make too much of a mess here. I want, because I'm going to do a little bit darker. The drying didn't help through color? What do you mean, man? What you talking about? You mean for the smooth textured gesso? It leaves a really shiny texture when it's dry, and it really stands out and may be distracting when painting with gouache, because gouache dries very matte. Is it matte or matte? I don't know. It's over, Prime. You gotta be able to hear it, right? If you can hear it, then you're on the right track. See you next week, DW. I appreciate you, man. Say hello to your sister for me. Don't be too mad. But I appreciate you hanging out with me. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. All right, let me see. I'm going to go tighten up these lines with a 8B. You are drawing Ashita Nojo. I left it all in the ring. Ashes, all that is left. Trope started by them. Sometimes, JOM, you be coming up with non sequiturs that I have no idea what you'd be talking about. But that's okay. Love you anyway. See you later, D-Dub. D-Dub 05287. Ashita Nojo. Ashita not. I'm just kidding. Alright, let me tighten up these lines. So what I'm going to do this afternoon is I will spray this with a fixative so I won't lose my lines. And then on today's workshop, I'll add the fluid acrylic, the underpainting. We'll go from there, y'all. You know, one thing I'm curious about, I used the blue pencil. I wonder what it's gonna look like after with just graphite. Well, I did the Hulk that way. Maybe I won't be too surprised. You know what I think I'm gonna do? Instead of having just that harsh black outline, I think I'm gonna make it as if his helm is cracked. Give some dynamisms. How old is the trope? Could the trope have been because of this? I'm gonna have to sharpen this pencil a lot during this. You think this is a helmet? You think Megatron has a crew cut? Crew cut underneath? Or a tight little afro? We'll never know. A rusty receding hairline, right? That's why he's so angry. Male pattern baldness. I feel you, Megs. I feel you, bro. What I want to do as a secondary piece, I want to draw the image of Rumble. It could be Frenzy. One of the two. One of the cassettes carrying Megatron's cannon. A little rat tail. A widow's peak, tight, Steven Seagal rat tail. Boom. A little bit of everything. You know, Steven Seagal as Megatron would be inspired casting. Devastator was dope. Forever, I've always wanted to do the scene in this movie where he rips into the Autobot city. Megatron's like, Devastator, merge for the kill. We knew what was gonna happen since then. All right. Predaking. I liked Bruticus. He had a great voice. Bruticus was cool. If I remember, Bruticus was the combiners that Starscream put together from old military vehicles, and then of course they turned on him. Right? Bruticus. Or was that the Stunticons? I can't remember. Sorry. I want to emphasize cracks. Where's my other eraser? This thing is filthy. I actually don't care if I can't get it too precise because it's adding. Yeah. I can't remember if it was Bruticus. I think it was because they were kind of slow, I think. I can't remember, man. I wish I could. I just keep adding to the mythos. It's too bad we never got a proper G.I. Joe and Transformers crossover. I know the movie tried. I think those military dudes in the Transformers movies should have been, instead of being called Nest, they should have been Joes. We all knew who they were supposed to be. They were international. But I guess, I don't know how Hasbro, I don't know if Hasbro, yeah, they own the rights to G.I. Joe. How they were still, if at all, worried about money when those movies were printing money. We'll never know. Yeah, man, the eraser is one heck of a tool, man. One that for years we're only taught as it being a way to hide mistakes, remove things that we don't want. Little did we know that is such a versatile tool that can be used to draw. There's a subtractive art, which is really cool, where you cover the whole page in graphite or whatever and begin to remove using a kneaded eraser. Alright, I think all we're doing is refining. I don't know how much darker I can get. I think the most of it I'm going to have to do with the paints themselves. The challenge is going to be if I can get it anywhere near realistic that I have in my mind, or keep it cartoony. The thing I don't want to do is, if I'm going to use a reference the way I'm using one here, we all know what it looks like. We have that ingrained in our minds. We have to make it our own, right? So, I'm trying to do a bit more than what I did for the Optimus. That's also one thing you'll notice when using artboard and using graphite. The lead kind of just sits on top because it kind of shaves it. This texture shaves your pencil more than anything else. So you're not ever going to get it as dark as you want. That's something I've also learned from the canvas. So you have to just appreciate that level. Can I go any further? Sure. This is an EE, which is the darkest I have. But even still, that lead is going to sit on top. And all it's going to do is smudge and smudge, ultimately turning into a gray mess. So now we play. Yeah, my next video, I recorded my session of drawing and painting Galactus, the one where he's devouring the planet. And I talk about accepting limitations and using them to learn and building on those and testing stuff out. Like, there's a reason why professional artists don't draw as detailed on artboard or on canvas, because the board, the material is constantly fighting with your graphite. Can it be done? Sure. I think in layers, quick wash, fixative, so it can sit and on and on and on. But in one sitting, I don't think it's possible. But your boy is stubborn, so I wanted to try it out myself. As we all should. Art is one of those things that when somebody says, oh, it can't be done, it's okay to test it and understand why it can't be done. Because it doesn't hurt. But maybe in the middle of that discovery, you'll find something that works. Find something that suits you. Find something that you can use, you can do, and make all your own. I think what helps me is that I have a appreciation for graphite and grayscale. It's what I fell in love with drawing in the first place. And when I was introduced to charcoal, when I went to school for graphic design, I fell in love with it even more. Now I get the opportunity to bring the stuff that I learned and try to add it to other things that I'm learning. Yas, man. Yas. So. I get asked, why would I, why do I paint so or draw so detailed if I'm gonna just paint over it, or ultimately end up painting over it? Because I still love drawing. I love drawing more than I love painting. But also, I'm in the school of the drawing has to be tight. Tight drawing doesn't always equal a tight painting, but it helps. Especially with stuff that's realistic. This stuff isn't realistic. If I was drawing a real person, a portrait, you know, unless you're trying to go for a stylized appearance, you want it to look as realistic as possible, or the drawing as good as possible. Plus, in this day and age, you have to prove everything and show everything. And I was saying earlier about misunderstandings and misconceptions, grids, and whatever. Now, this community all is trying to find a way to either out or embarrass or pretend to out certain artists. I've seen that happen a lot lately, where artists' artwork is so good and so clean, and people get tight, they get jealous about it and start claiming that it's AI. That's that is so careless. But I don't know. I don't know where any of this is going. I don't know where any of it's going to end up in the end. We can't just do this stuff anymore. It's kind of a drag. You know, untrained eyes now become the authority of what something's supposed to look like. Everybody with an IG account is an expert now, and they will trash your stuff. Threads has become that. It makes it not fun, you know? It makes me sad that this is when I joined and try to communicate with people and share and I hate that the conversation keeps growing. Yeah, the accusations are part of it now. Not even if it's I don't even know. The untrained authority sounds like a hate group. Yeah, it might very well be. The amount of hate and vitriol that they spew. But you know what's so funny? Nobody yells louder than the ones that get caught. Caught. The fact that that's a thing, caught. But we live in a capitalist society, right? The moment something can be made money for you and put money in your pocket, the moment AI blew up, there were so many things showing you how to use it, how to exploit it, with no safeguards. What happened to learning? And doing? We use AI and everything anyway, so what the frick? What the frick? But yeah, I see it more and more every time, call outs, and I think, what's interesting is that the people that are losing money aren't, or they complain about it, aren't. I don't know what to say, bud. Just in here drawing Megatron. Shoot, I might as well just leave this thing black and white. Yeah. And I think what happened is that, and you're right, it removes this process. You wouldn't even see anything of this it removes, but even still, like it could be used as a resource and a way to see things differently. Color schemes, that type of stuff. Sure, we use it to see what kind of floors will look nice in your living room. I think that as a resource, it could be used. Certain color schemes. But I don't know, man. When it first came out, it was some artists that were using it completely and then drawing whatever it was that they prompted. But it was in their style. They would do a bunch of. There is actually still a video. I was watching. I forget the name of the artist. Amazing artist, and what she did was amazing anyway. But she was like, how it changed the way I do my art, how it does this, how it made me. What the hell? Yeah. Bristle. It helped her with her imagination and the process and all that stuff, and made an amazing argument about it. Photo bashing, nice and original composition using stuff that she prompted. And you go, well, that's work. You still gotta, man. Her comment section tore her up. But here's the thing, they tore her up. You think her subscription number changed? Not one. Not one. That's really the thing. Nothing changed. Nothing. Not even a like a my bad, a misunderstanding email. No, because nothing changed for her. Sub count still the same. View count, I'm sure, still the same. That's why it amazes me, all of the angry vitriol. Because the thing also that I realize is the people that are railing on it to these artists are doing it for their own reason, for their own click, for their own attention grab. My sub count hasn't increased because I do AI. Those people that have canceled their subscriptions or their follow to other amazing artists that do similar things, they haven't jumped on my wagon. They haven't given me a shot. You know what I'm saying? If that's what's important. Yeah. So, in the end, man, that's why, in the end, who cares for real? Who cares for real? And I think some artists that don't really care get dragged into the conversation. Like, and if you go, dude, I don't care. Oh, you don't care that they steal this? Of course. Of course. Of course. But I don't care. People doing what they do does not affect what I do. I mean, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at? And I get it. The stuff they're doing to our communities and our environment, I get it. They're gonna do that ish anyway. Not supposed to drink and drive. People do that ish too. Not to be smoking when you're underage. I used to do that too. You know how many people don't care? It's hard to separate yourself, though. It really is. It really is. I don't know how to act. I don't know how to feel about any of it. It's not where I wanted today's episode to go, but it is what it is. I think one thing I do that I shouldn't is... My hands are really warm. It's gross. I just want to do good art. You know what I'm saying? I just want to do good art. Study from my books, my masters, and all that stuff. But you know what's happening, man? People say, you can't do that. And all artists think they are rebels. They're going to go, well, I'm going to do that. We're a bunch of leather-clad goobers with sharp pencils, man. I'm going to do it. I can't do what now? I can do whatever I want. I'm going to take an AI image, and I'm going to make it my own. There are images on Pinterest of portraits and things like that that look beautiful and amazing. You know how many times I looked at them and gone, I'm going to draw that. And get a pang of guilt? Isn't that sucky? There's an artist on YouTube that has a great following. All he's done is redraw. There's another artist's Mid-Journey. So there's an artist on Instagram that posts beautiful Mid-Journey images of X-Men or whatever. People that we recognize. Daredevil. I've seen Daredevil, X-Men, He-Man, Conan, all of those things. Rendered in Mid-Journey. This artist redoes them. Who's stealing now? I don't know what to say. It is what it is. I can't remember what comic book artist. It wasn't Paulo. I don't think it was Paulo. When this whole thing broke out and AI was like really fun at first, he was using it to create amalgamations for characters, and then he would draw it. And somebody called him out, made him feel guilty about it. Because he was told to steal people's stuff. Because it was trained. Even though he was converting it to his style. I used to do digital art. I thought that was going to be my jam. When I went to school for graphic design, I was introduced to Photoshop and Illustrator and all of those things, and it was my jam. I put my book away. I don't do it very often. I don't do it at all. The only time I use digital is to either clean up an image, and that's it. Superimpose text, that's it. But no, I don't do it anymore. I used to. Alright, let me see if I can get this dark, even though I knew it's not possible. And you know how many people, when I started to do digital, this is early 2000. Oh, you're cheating. That's cheating. That's cheating. You can never win, honestly. You can never win. Like, how the hell am I cheating? This thing took me 12 hours. If that's cheating, then I must be losing. You can't win, man. You can't win when it comes to fighting untalented people. And that's a very harsh thing to say. Because haters are going to hate. Haters are going to hate. But when I saw, and I felt they make you feel guilty, haters make you feel guilty, but when I saw Mobius, Jean Giraud, embrace digital, I was like, oh, go kick rocks, haters. Tell that to Jean Giraud, a freaking genius over there, hating on me. That's why, my friend, you gotta do you. Cause haters gonna hate. Bringing back harsh memories. Do they have a point about the stealing in order to learn? It was dishonest, and there's a lot of dishonesty at the expense of those that didn't have a voice. They do have a point about the stealing in order to learn. You're talking about with AI, like the artist that was using it to amalgamate? Yeah. We all steal. Case in point. This isn't a direct stolage. Stole directly from these animators, which I haven't given any credit to. Oh my god. Guys. Yet everybody knows what that's from. If they see this, they'll know what that's from. Did you draw that? Of course I did, man. Look at my pencils. So, stealing to learn, that's not... We all steal to learn. We steal techniques. We steal what kind of tools they used. We'll steal... Oh man, Michelangelo used the feather of a chicken. Let me go get some chicken. He used the grid. I'm gonna use the grid. Before him, the Baroque, I think they used male models to paint women. I'm using that. It's whatever is accepted form of stealing. Then that's okay. I'm telling you, man, that argument will never win you anything. That's why, in the end, you do whatever the heck you want. Don't tell nobody. Oh, Lord. I think I may have gone overboard on this Megatron's helmet. Dude, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Some of these conversations are just in my head. Yeah. Do have a point. Use the hate and make hard. They have their role to play. You have yours. The artist can transform and transmogrify that hate into expression. That's true. Fair use. I comment. Do there is commentary. You draw. I learn. You teach. I draw. You are protected under law. Again, like I said, I just want to draw. I like even Omer. I'm not saying that he does, but what do you say? I want to draw whatever I want to draw when I want to draw it. And I'm not saying he uses AI or anything. I'm just saying that as his the broad motto that he lives by. Do whatever the frig I want. You do whatever you want. All right. I think we're a little over 2. I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna just keep tweaking this stuff a little bit. I don't know how much detail if I'm gonna finish. I should just finish doing that to the rest of the body. All I know is that I'm definitely going to need to spray fixative on this. Oh, you got bars though, bro. You teach, I draw, you protected under the law. Bars. I see you, man. I see you. Alright. Last bit here. But I think I'm gonna call it. I gotta go get something to eat. Thanks, brother, for hanging out with me today, this morning. I appreciate you always. Thanks for the conversation. As always, we're just trying to be better. We're just trying to get better. That's it. And my thing is that I don't want people to feel restricted. You're still not an artist if you prompt and claim you are. That's not true. But if you're gonna prompt to get ideas, I don't care. But I gotta see your work. I gotta see your hands. Don't just copy. If you're gonna just copy, do it from someone that you respect. Learn from that. But I don't even know. I don't know. Or don't. Don't draw. Forget it. Quit. Don't do anything. Don't bother. You get too good people to say you used it. If you're too bad people to say you should use it. Just don't bother. The heck with it. Right? Yeah, claim the art, not the title. Salute the rank, not the man. It's over, Prime. I like that. There's a lot of smudging going on, man. See what this looks like from a different angle. Kapow. Yeah. I might have to twist it. It's a pretty big drawing. I'll take it though. Not too bad. So because it's not identical, what do? You claim it's an homage. That's how you do it. Nothing's over. Who said that? Nothing is over. Oh, bruh. Was it over the top? No, I'm just messing. What'd you think about that? I'll leave with this. Because I really should leave with this. I play Rocky. It looks like a good movie. Good movie. I might consider watching it in theaters. Maybe. I wonder how much involvement he has in that. He being Stallone. It's a biopic on not necessarily his life, but the way a movie was. Alright, that's enough for me. I'm calling it. I'll see you guys later this afternoon for the workshop, for the Wednesday workshop. Maybe I'll keep drawing this. Maybe I'll do something else. Maybe I'll paint. Who knows? Live in fear. But the point is that you guys jump on, ask questions. We'll figure it out together. Figure drawing, portrait drawing, drawing the head, the Loomis, drawing in perspective, whatever it is. We'll figure it out together. That's the whole point. Treat it like a human AI. Put in the prompt. Put it in the chat. We'll figure it out. Just kidding. So, with that said, this is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. God bless you. Love you. Mean it. And until later. Till next time. I'll draw you later. Bye.